The mission behind Sapphire is to structure unstructured data and documents.
The whole intent of our application was to get people off of email, phone, and fax and spreadsheets.
Seems like this should have been fixed a while back.
The legal processes, the KYC processes, the credit processes, right?
And so you guys can keep your language and keep your processes. It'll kind of translate the language from one company to the next.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. This is an exciting day, and we've got exciting news to share. My name is Gabino Roche. I'm the CEO and founder of Sapphire. And I want to say a big thank you to my team. We've got a small contingent here because we're all social distancing, but a number of them are working remotely, so I want to thank you. We would not have this moment today if it weren't for all of you. I know we've got folks on LinkedIn Live as well as other social media platforms, so thanks for making the time to hear what we have to share today. And I'm super, super excited. But there's one person in particular I'd like to call out when I start here, and that is this person has actually stood by me from the beginning. He was my first investor. He picked me up when I got knocked down, and he made sure I never quit because this startup life can be a rough roller coaster ride. And that man's my identical twin brother, Steven.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Gabino. Thank you for the sentiments. And I'm sure when I come up with my next big idea, you'll be there just for me just the same. So that's what brothers are for. Yes, my name is Steven Roche. I am the president and co-founder of Sapphire. What makes us so special? Well, my twin brother here is actually an inventor. Who knew? I know. So we have so much of an inventor. Actually, he's actually helped us create 48 patents that are recognized globally. What does this mean? It means we have a unique story to tell that we're the only ones really in this space that do what we do. What do we do actually? I like to put an analogy out there that we're kind of like the Windows operating system of the pre-trade space. If you can use Internet Explorer to browse the web, but you may end up using Google Chrome or Firefox. Interoperability is a key design principle behind Sapphire. And so how do we apply that design principle to the problems we're solving? Well, let's take this to the pre-trade space and let's describe the problem. And there's two major challenges right now in the pre-trade space. Primarily, all of these activities are done manually via email, faxes, and spreadsheets. It's crazy that you would imagine in the finance arena, you'd be doing something a little bit better than that. I mean, they're regulated to still doing faxes. These premium financial firms sending sensitive information back and forth over these 1980 technologies. I think what we're doing is bringing Silicon Valley tech into finance and taking that technology and applying it to this space. But the other second challenge is the fact that there are multiple different types of work streams that happen. So Sapphire looked at this from a buy-side perspective. And when I talk about buy-sides, I'm talking about asset managers, hedge funds, insurance companies, any investment manager, going out to their clients, the asset owners, corporates, pensions, and trusts, and going out to their counterparties, prime brokers, custodians, sell-side broker-dealers. In each of those cases, you have four different types of work streams that occur. Legal negotiations, know your customer KYC due diligence, you got tax documentation collection, and you got operational configurations. For those four, you can have different teams at every firm trying to synchronize all this information. You multiply that by the number of counterparties and clients, and you multiply that by the number of funds, and this gets really crazy really quick. So how does Sapphire tackle this? We actually digitize that entire process. We take those 48 patents that my brother talked about in the beginning, and we apply it to this space. Sapphire's AI technology remembers a relationship, not just bilaterally between two firms, but multilaterally to the asset owners of those corporate pensions and trusts, to the custodians, prime brokers, broker-dealers, all for those buy-side firms to help you get to ready to trade faster. We speed that entire process. So what's been the results? Well, I think we got a Thomson Reuters survey. Right, and they're showing here on this report that as regulations get added and more processes get in place for all these different jurisdictions globally, getting to ready to trade is getting elongated by weeks to months.
Especially these firms are risk averse. They want perfection,
Right.
So they just wind up taking longer and longer.
And so what we've been able to prove in Sapphire is that we can reduce all of this down to 24 hours.
An amazing feat. And we've been doing this for 3.5 years. Primarily, Sapphire has been known to address the area where buy-side firms are actually onboarding and launching new funds to broker-dealers. We've even done work with helping buy-sides onboard their clients, those asset owners. But last year, we asked ourselves, could we apply the same technology to the custody space? And not just to digitize the onboarding in custody, but could we have that same AI technology, remember all the data and documents, take those market statuses, pull in those settlement instructions, and automatically enrich that out to multiple broker-dealers on behalf of these buy-side firms for their funds? If we were going to do this, we couldn't do this just from a vendor standpoint. We had to find a strategic relationship. So for our big announcement, part of it, I should say, and this is really exciting for me, it's one firm we've been working for a long time, but I think I'll give you the honors, Steve.
I appreciate it. I mean, they've been there from the beginning with us for the last 3.5 years, and it's truly an honor and a privilege to formally announce that BlackRock has joined the Sapphire endeavor.
Super excited. I mean, we've been waiting to talk about this for a long time, and BlackRock's got a sophisticated operations. They got trillions of dollars of business that they actually manage, thousands and thousands of funds. Certainly, if we at Sapphire can handle that business, we can pretty much do this for anyone. Right. So, and think about BlackRock. There is one person in particular I'd like to call out and thank. She's been steadfast with us from the very beginning. She stood by us through thick and thin. Her name is Lil Ancona, Managing Director at BlackRock. She actually oversees the portfolio enablement team at BlackRock for all those onboardings out to custodians, as well as the teams that do onboardings with broker-dealers. And I believe we have a quote from her today from today's press release.
We do, and she has shown some great leadership here. Her statement states that with Sapphire, we're reducing hours of work down to minutes and ensuring our funds are ready to trade more quickly, all on a single platform. With powerful workflow features and enhanced visibility into the account opening lifecycle, Sapphire has enabled BlackRock to eliminate manual processes to support the account opening workflow across custodians and broker-dealers.
The proof's in the pudding. That's super exciting stuff. You would think that that would be enough, but the good news doesn't stop there. I'm so excited. We have one more firm to talk about, and I think, Steve, I'll give you the honors again.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with twins, we just can't accept one. We like to accept things in twos, and so it is my pleasure to announce that JP Morgan has joined the Sapphire endeavor.
Now, this is near and dear to me because JP Morgan was my home. I worked at JP Morgan for 5.5 years. And the best analogy I can give for those of you who are Game of Thrones fans at home, it's like the Starks coming home to Winterfell. I've come home. So these guys have been tremendous thought leaders. They've been with us from the beginning. But again, I'd like to call out one individual. This man has been instrumental. He's well known in the industry. He knows how to execute and actually deliver. That man's name is Naveen TV. And I believe we also have a quote from him from today's press release.
Yeah, he's a great man. It's an honor to read his quote. He's stating that Sapphire has been instrumental in transforming the account opening experience for our clients. JP Morgan was an early adopter of Sapphire and is now live in production after successfully testing its value proposition for over 6 months. Sapphire's cutting-edge technology, coupled with JP Morgan's industry-leading operating model and workflow tools, allow us to continue to drive industry change that positions ourselves and our clients for the future.
Great stuff. And again, it's you do a startup, you live the startup life, you're an entrepreneur, and it's like you're living a dream. This feels unreal. Our team is super energized and excited. If we're going to talk about, though, the custody space, for those of you who may not know, in the custody onboarding space, you're dealing with stacks of paper, manually filling out your SWIFT reporting requests, your trade message routing and whatnot, and doing what signatures. Now we're digitizing all that process. We're coming to the 21st century with all this. And again, big thanks to both BlackRock and JP Morgan. But now for our one more big thing. If you really think about what Sapphire's done to date over the last 3.5 years, the fact that we have 48 patents and we're the only ones who truly do what we do today, we have actually created a golden copy of reference data that is not just used bilaterally, but multilaterally around multiple counterparties and firms across multiple funds. And you can use that, yes, in the pre-trade space, but imagine how we can benefit your trading and post-trade.
Imagine eliminating up to 70% of your post-trade activities. Then imagine automating allocations. Even better yet, instant settlement instructions. And then the holy grail that every fintech firm wishes to solve, the elimination of failed trades. It's real, and the firms who work with us know that we know how to execute. We actually deliver. We can give you the car keys today, and you can try the car. The amazing thing here is we would not be here without my team. You guys have been phenomenal. A big thank you to all of you in helping us, and for those of you attending, celebrating this great achievement with us, because it's super exciting and we couldn't contain it any longer. But we're going to have a number of LinkedIn events coming up. One in particular about the last topic that my brother just discussed, and that one more big thing around trading and post-trade. We have a number of other events coming up in the coming weeks and months, so be sure to tune in. If you want to reach out to us, by the way, email at us at info@sapphire.com. That's info@sapphire.com. Or reach out to us on our LinkedIn page, our company page there. We keep it pretty active. Hopefully you find some of the materials entertaining, if not informative. But stay tuned. We'll be back. Thank you so much for celebrating with us and coming here today. And we'll be in touch with you soon. Thanks.
Thanks.